Found a panel with a dent in it today, so we've removed the panel. We have drawn out a repair for this, and we need 3 pieces of 2024 T3 material, 32 thousandths thick. So we've drawn our 6-inch square pattern here. Over here we've got a 5-inch circle pattern, and then we've got a 2-inch round patch for the filler. We've laid out our rivet spacing based on diameter of the rivets being measured in 30 seconds. The links are measured in 1/16. So we're also going to countersink this repair so it's nice and flush with the skin of the aircraft. After we've laid out our rivet pattern with our spacing, we need approximately 20 rivets. So we'll lay out our sheet metal and we'll get started with the repair. I have it laid out now. I've got my circle repair laid out, how I want my doubler to be, and my center patch. As you can see, it will take place over the damaged area. And according to my rivet spacing and my layout, I have laid this out accordingly. So now I'm going to take my center punch and punch where all my rivets are going to go. Make sure you have protective eyewear on. You want to strike your center punch 1 time. Make sure it is at the intersection of your lines. All right, I will finish punching these. As you can see, I've got all my intersections center punched. So now I'm going to take a number 30 drill bit and drill these holes out and get that done and get ready to drill my center section out for my plug repair. You want to make sure you have good eye protection, eyewear on. You want to put your number 30 drill bit in the dimple from the center punch. Give it a couple of twists to make sure that it bites into the metal. Hold it nice and level. I will finish drilling all the holes out at this time. I have all of my rivet holes drilled. Now I need to punch the center section out right here for my filler patch. This is for my round doubler that goes behind this. This is the 6-inch square piece. The 5-inch round piece will go in the back with the 2-inch filler in the middle. All my holes are done, so I need to countersink all of these holes at this time. I have my countersink. It is set up now to make sure all my countersinks will be the same. Make sure when you set the countersink up, you do it on scrap aluminum so you don't mess up your finished piece. And again, take the jam nut loose back here, pull back on the collar, and then you can extend or retract the depth of the countersink. Tighten the jam nut back up, and you're ready to go. And I will continue to countersink the rivet holes. I have all of my rivet holes have now been countersunk. I have taken my deburring tool and I've deburred the back of the holes, made sure they are all smooth and clean. And now I'm ready to work on my centerpiece for the back, the doubler, and my filler piece. All right, I have my 5-inch circle here, and I've put a X across here so I can find the center. So I can line this up with the piece that I've done for the outer skin for the patch, and it'll also help me reference where the center plug piece will need to go. So I'm going to trim this and cut it around the outside lines, and I'm going to line this piece up with my actual skin repair, and we'll drill the holes through it as well, and then I will clean those holes up also. I'm just finishing up deburring all of my holes, the front side and the back side. Do not put a lot of pressure on this because you do not want it to open these holes up any bigger than they are. As you can see, all of my holes have been drilled, and I have also cleaned them up, deburred both sides, and I've gone ahead and laid out my 4 holes for my plug pattern. You can see where it has rubbed against my plate. I have laid out my 2-inch patch filler. I'm going to cut it out, then I'm going to pick up my 4 holes from my doubler, and I will countersink these 4 holes as well to get ready for the installation. Here's my 2-inch plug patch. I've deburred the holes on both sides. I've also countersunk my 4 holes on the front. Now I'm going to put these pieces together, hold them together with clecos, and get ready to rivet this repair together. Okay, I've got everything lined up. I've got 3 clecos in here. And if you don't know how to use a cleco or what it is literally a hole clamp based on rivet sizing. They come in 4 different colors that we use mainly in aviation. So you use your cleco pliers, squeeze the handle, insert it in the hole. When you release it, it will hold it in place. So put a couple of them in there, and we'll put this in the vise, and we'll be ready to shoot our rivets in just a few minutes. Based on the depth of our 2 pieces of sheet metal at 32 thousandths each, that's 64 thousandths. Remember, rivets, their diameter is measured in 30 seconds, and the length is measured in 16ths. So for this application, we're going to use a MS-2426 AD4-4 rivet. Put the rivet in the hole. Make sure, again, you have safety glasses on. Never point a set in a rivet gun at any one. Never pull the trigger unless it is flush on a surface. The bucking bar does all the work. You do not apply very much pressure. Use very little pressure. Now, I will finish shooting the rest of the rivets in the repair, and we'll be done. Once we're done shooting all of our rivets, everything is nice and flush. Nothing is picked up, standing up, everything is flush. All of our rivet tails are all approximately the same height, and everything is nice and flat on the back side. Once we've got all this put together, now we're going to drill the patch back out of this project. We're going to center punch each of the rivet heads. That way the drill bit will not walk on us. It'll have a place to bite into. Again, you only want to strike the center punch 1 time. We're going to put it in the vise, and we'll use a number 31 drill bit, just a little smaller, to drill the heads of the rivets out of the way. Now we're going to take a number 31 drill bit, just 1 size smaller than a 30, and drill the rivet heads out. Again, just like making the hole, you want to start it, give it a little bit of a twist. Once you drill through all the heads, you want to use a punch and punch the tails out. And the last one. And you want to make sure none of your holes are elongated or oversized, and you're done. Once the patch filler is removed, again, your holes are not elongated, they're not oversized, so you can use the patch again.